Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Venus retrograde reading for you. Venus retrograde begins March 1st, 2025, and it lasts for 6 weeks. It's a very, very intense time. So if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And if you are interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. If you're sound sensitive, this is a time to mute the reading, let the healing energy wash over you, and unmute it when you see me pick up the singing bowl. All right, so now let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into the safe and loving space. All right, Virgo, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay, we start with the Death card. We're crowned with the Death card, strong Scorpio energy. We then have the Queen of Cups, angels and spirit guides. The Seven of Wands, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Nine of Swords, guide this reading and show me clearly. The High Priestess, the Wheel of Fortune, angels and spirit guides. Oh, we have the Sun, that's brilliant. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Knight of Wands, the Tower, which makes sense. The Nine of Wands, angels and spirit guides. The Ace of Wands, angels and spirit guides. And the Five of Cups. Okay, this is going to be a very, very, very cathartic Venus retrograde. This is going to be a time where our heart shines through in ways that we have kind of given up on. So again, this Venus retrograde lasts for 6 weeks, and it brings out existing issues in our relationships. So we see the Death card come forward, and I know people find the Death card spooky. It's not. It's a very, very good card. It's one of the best cards in the tarot. It shows a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. You are going to be privy to secrets during this time. You're going to be looking at things in a very different way than you have been looking at them before, and you're going to be looking at yourself in a very different way. There's a sense of empowerment. There's a sense of a deeper understanding. Now, do be mindful. This Venus retrograde, it starts in Aries, so we can all be a little bit short-tempered, a little bit spicy. We can all have a bit of a short fuse. So recognizing that and, acknowledging that within ourselves and within the energy sphere around us is going to be very important. Old flames can come back during this time, and that can be really confusing because we'll think like, oh, is there supposed to be something here? But old flames come back, or old situations come back, because what we are doing is healing. We are healing. We are gaining closure and understanding, maybe not in the way that we had thought we would. Like, oh, this is what closure looks like, or oh, this is how, the person will apologize type of thing. No, we are seeing more deeply in ourselves where the energy doesn't, jive anymore, where we need to embrace our own empowerment or love or understanding. And so that's going to be very important here because a veil is being lifted from our eyes. And we've been really hard on ourselves, Virgo. Whether we're in a relationship or whether we're single, we have been really hard on ourselves, really expecting a lot from us. And this is going to be a catalyst. These 6 weeks are going to be a tipping point, a turning point in our lives that really bring us forward in a deeper understanding of ourselves, but also show us what it is that we really want and what it is that we're really looking for. We can feel also a bit of a dry spell when it comes to love during a Venus retrograde, because all the hurts, all the pains, all the disappointments, everything is coming forward. And it's like everything is being set anew. We are being cleansed, we are stepping into our power, and that's going to be very liberating, and that's going to be a very important thing for us. So we have the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the dying away of old expectations when it came to relationships, when it came to our role in relationships, when it came to what we want in relationships, and a rebirth of what it is that we desire. This is very strong Scorpio energy. October 23rd to November 21st is the time frame. So that energy is coming forward. We're seeing ourselves blossom. We're seeing ourselves look at things in a different way. The Scorpio energy also helps us in the death card, helps us to connect with the spirit world much more easily and much more effortlessly. So if there is Scorpio energy in your chart, that part of your personality is going to come out quite strongly. If there is Scorpio energy in your life, you might find that that person holds a lot of wisdom for you during this time, has a way of looking at things where you're like, oh, I didn't see it like that. I didn't understand it like that. So that's going to be really interesting. You're also going to be very drawn to the spiritual and kind of, esoteric of it all. So that's also going to be important. The Queen of Cups is healing beautiful love. The Queen of Cups is saying, hold up what you love and what is most sacred to you and move that forward. You've been fighting against what is most sacred to you for one reason or another. It's either love should look like this. We're given a very specific kind of blueprint when we're little and we read the fairy tales or we have the fairy tales read to us. This is what, love looks like, or this is how it should be. And now we're starting to see that we've been fighting against that. We've been fighting, with a sense of, what does love look like for me? What do I want for my life and for myself? And it's also everybody else's energy coming around us and it being like, this isn't right. I need to stand in my power, in what I desire. There's a lot of fear. Now, it's either that our love is never going to go the way that we had envisioned it, or we're always going to be single. It always depends on where we are in our journey of existence. So here, just know that there's an intensity that you're fighting against, and Spirit is saying, hold up what you love. Stop doubting your own heart and your own self. The High Priestess lifts the veil from your eyes, and actually it's like a leap of faith forward. Can you trust? Can you trust me? Can you trust in the heart's secrets, or what the heart deeply desires, or what it is that you're looking for? Do you have to have everything be black and white, white page, black print, spelt out, so clearly? Or can you let yourself move forward in kind of like a blind faith during this time to say, I am trusting my heart, and I am cleansing what is no longer relevant for me. The Wheel of Fortune is this change when it comes to love, when it comes to what we desire. And it brings us to the sun. It brings us to happiness and to joy. And it brings us to the Knight of Wands. Now, we have the Ace of Wands here. God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of fire, of passion, of tenacity, of insight into the darkness, of like certain things to say, hey, hold this up, like see this, move forward this way. You're going to be surprised at how the doors open here. And the Knight of Wands is us taking the reins. Now, this is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If we're born on the cusp with Leo, if we have fire sign energy in our chart, that comes through very powerfully. And we're going to see ourselves during this time moving forward in passion. Now, we can be a little bit too passionate, a little bit too hot-headed, especially since we are empowered by that Aries energy, fire sign energy, right? Wanting to shove us forward, wanting to kind of like light the match and let the rocket take off. Here, it's stepping back, looking at what it is that we really want. And with the Tower, we have been through a Tower time. Now, we've come out of this Tower time, but sometimes it's hard for us to remember. It's hard for us to look at the pain that we have been through. We have the Nine of Wands, the energy of I have to look over my shoulders, right? I have to be defending myself. The energy of like, I have to plan this out, or I have to know all the answers. With the Seven of Wands, you don't, And so here, you are going to see that you are rebuilding. And as you're rebuilding, you're saying, I don't want to always be fearful. And so Spirit is guiding you forward during this Venus retrograde. Where were you afraid in love? Was it when you were small, and people who were supposed to love you didn't? Was it when you were in a relationship and things didn't go, correctly, or you weren't treated well? This is going to be a time where you look at those fears and they're highlighted. And so that can be uncomfortable during this Venus retrograde. I mean, nobody's going to say it's not. But we start to change our mind and change our life. Change what we are seeing, change what we are focusing on, change how we are seeing ourselves. And all of a sudden, we start to feel empowered. We start to feel emboldened. We start to say, I can do this. And we are taking back our power during this time. This is a great time. A Venus retrograde is a great time to kind of like emotion dump, in a journal, talking to somebody or just talking to yourself of like what it is that you want. And you might be like, this is so chaotic, or even sitting and meditating and letting everything come forward and then sending it out into the universe. It's like, this is what I'm dealing with. How do I find the peace and harmony within me? How do I open up the door to let love guide me forward and let love be my guidance and be my power? So whether we're in a relationship, whether we're single, this is going to be a time where we call to our hearts and where we release so much of what has been bothering us. If we're in a relationship, we can talk it over with our partner, just knowing that, we're going to have a defensive, wall come up first, and then there's going to be a reception. There's also, in a Venus retrograde, there's also this energy of, we could break up with somebody. It doesn't have to be forever, right? But that energy of like, I can walk away comes forward in a Venus retrograde because people get a little spicy during this time. So just be aware of that. That can make us want to be silent. And Spirit's like, no, don't be silent out of fear. Say what it is that you want to you. And once you can articulate it to your soul, it's like letting it move forward into a greater space. Or even it's like once you articulate it to yourself, all of a sudden you're freeing yourself, you're opening the door, and you're seeing you move forward in a greater way, in a greater power. It moves us to the energy that Spirit wants us to be aware of, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. So we have the Loon and we have the Cardinal. It says, pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. And that's why Spirit said, hey, meditate, connect with this energy, because the Cardinal says, stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. It's like it's time for you to take the reins of what you want and being proactive and saying, this is where I want to be. It moves us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. It brings us here to meditation. Yes, exactly what Spirit was saying. This is the crown chakra coming forward. And this is embracing slowing things down and meditating, grounding yourself, standing outside, getting a grounding mat. You can get them off of Amazon, a grounding mat, grounding yourself, centering yourself, and then embracing meditation. If you can try the simple meditation of I'm going to sit for 5 minutes still and I'm going to smile. And that smile might feel so odd on your face, when you start, because everything has been so much, everything has been so intense. But start with a smile. It helps your heart. It lifts you forward. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. Ooh, here. This is Cernunnos. So Cernunnos is the devil. The devil is Capricorn energy. December 22nd to January 19th. Something karmic is going to be coming up. Why? Because Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn. Saturn deals with our karmic path. It deals with, top-down structure, our karmic path, the rules of things and the way things move forward. So Cernunnos is coming in, and this is the bit of chaos that is in life that we can't control. And so here, it is coming to terms with the karmic path that is chaotic, that might not be following the fairy tale story. And we can get really mad at this during a Venus retrograde, during a time when all our emotions come forward and our heart is demanding to be heard. And we can say just push it down, just keep on going, don't be such a baby, don't give into this type of thing. But your heart is demanding to be heard. And so it's letting yourself release negativity, hurt, pain, disappointment. It's letting your heart open, and it's letting you open to what it is you deeply desire. But it's calling out the chaos. It's calling out the pain. It's calling out the addictions that we have to people pleasing or, talking poorly about ourselves or, believing other people over ourselves. And it is releasing that negativity and stepping into our power and stepping into our grace. Our subconscious spirit message is the dove. It says, feel and allow deeper sense of peace to fill you now. This is a divine quality. Yes, the smile meditation, or even just saying, you know what, I'm going to walk. I'm going to set a timer on my watch or, on my phone, and I'm going to walk for 5 minutes with a smile on my face, or stand for 5 minutes with a smile on my face. Doing these little things to raise our energy vibration, but also to call happiness to our heart, is going to be very important. And it is very important for us all the time, not just during a Venus retrograde. Our subconscious chakra message is the third eye chakra. Now, tapping in between the third eye is very important. And here, it is embracing our dreams. And it is also knowing, I've been working with an acupuncturist, and he works on my third eye. And he says sometimes the brain is so overloaded that we can't have the dream guidance that we need, because our bodies are too overloaded with worry and doubt and fear. So I highly recommend acupuncture if you guys are into it. If you're not, then that's totally cool. And if that's accessible to you. But if you can even just do the acupressure point of your third eye and press there and let yourself calm, let yourself center yourself and release, the fears that come of like, can I dream? Can I take on more information? Right? Because sometimes we're so overloaded, our minds are so overtaxed that dreaming isn't a top priority for our bodies at that moment. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of. When it comes to love, and a baggage that we're carrying is that we've trusted people that couldn't be trusted. These were people who were supposed to celebrate us. This could be, a person you went out with who wound up just being mean. Like, they didn't have to be mean. They could say, I wasn't interested. That's fine. Let's move on. But they had to be mean about it. This could be a parent who we just didn't get on with. It wasn't our fault. It wasn't their fault. Our personalities didn't match. That's okay. But knowing with the Three of Cups, it's the people, when we're told to be mindful of this, it's the people who are supposed to celebrate us, but just can't. And that leaves scars, because it's like, what did I do wrong? And with this Venus retrograde, a lot of the energy of like, what did I do wrong comes forward. And Spirit is saying, you didn't do anything wrong. This is part of your karmic path. Like, this is part of your path forward, your Akashic records, your soul to find, and to either find the love that's supposed to be in your life, or to, solidify, stabilize, build that love if you already have it. And it moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, and that's the Four of Swords. It is honoring our story, and it's honoring our sleep. It is letting ourselves be able to relax. It's letting go of the worry and the fear, letting go of the obsessive hamster wheel thoughts that we all have. And it's letting us step into our heart, our soul, and ourselves. All right, Virgo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this Venus retrograde, and of our hearts and our love. So take a nice deep breath in. Remember, mute this if you are sound sensitive. Exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed Venus retrograde. Bye.